So I'd like to show you guys another example of what we're doing and why. This is celery, and if anybody's planted celery before, they are incredibly tiny seeds, and it is almost impossible to put just one seed into one pot. So in this case, it looks like we have 2, maybe 3 celery plants growing. So the same purpose, or the same process, we can see this is our dominant plant. These other two are not as strong, and they're getting beaten out by the more dominant plant. Same thing, we're just going to snip them off at soil level. Don't rip them out, as mentioned. And we're going to let this celery plant grow into a ginormous celery that we're going to eat, obviously. We're going to do something with it. I don't know what it is yet. Now, other important things are, when are you going to, or when do you determine when it is an appropriate time to thin out your plants? I like to get them so you can see which one's going to be dominant. Pot placing or cell placing is also very important to me. I might choose a little bit less dominant plant if it's centered in the pot for a multiple of reasons. It's easier for the root growth to go around the pot and fill out. If you're on the side, sometimes the roots get balled up on the side of the pot. So it's kind of your call, to be honest with you. Like I said, I try to get the strongest, most central to the center of the pot plant, and I select that plant as the one that I'm going to use to grow up into a full mature plant. Alrighty, so right here is a prime example. I hope you guys can see it. It's kind of coming out a little bit blurry. So in this instance, this guy's a little bit stronger, and this one's small, and this one's small. Now what do? The rest of our plants are growing. The rest of the celery is starting to fall over a little bit. I have to get a little bit of fertilizer on these guys yet, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is, this one's fairly close to the center of the pot. So I'm going to take out these 2 smaller ones and let them grow. This guy's doing well. Here's another prime example of multiple plants or multiple seeds that have germinated in here. None of them are in the center of the pot. These ones are super thin and leggy. This one's a little bit more central to the pot. This one's too close to the edge. So what I think I'm going to do, these guys are far enough away, I'm just going to pull them out. They're not going to affect it because they're not side by side. And we're going to let that one grow for the reason that it is more centered in the pot. And it's a tough decision to make sometimes. Here's another prime example, our celery here. You can see 3 seeds got planted in the same pocket. So we're going to remove this one and let this one grow. This one right here, you can see it's a small one on the left and a larger one on the right. So we're going to keep the larger one on the right and let the smaller one on the left go. Remember guys, don't be pulling them out when they're side by side. I know I just did it on the ones, but they're on opposite sides of the pot. So we have a little bit of moisture. We're maybe watering these guys a little bit too much. You can see some of the soil conditions here, starting to go a little bit of a mold fungi on top of it. It's tough to get the right water combination inside, but that is the cause of that. These guys here, obviously you can tell they need a little bit more water, so I'm going to get them water right now, and we'll keep you in touch. So I've actually never realized this, and I just thought it was kind of something funny. The celery celery seedlings that I'm pruning off smell like celery, and they taste like celery. That's another interesting thing. Some of these edible seedlings can be used as microgreens. Just a little bit of interest for you. You could dice this up a little bit and put it on top of something in a soup or whatever you'd want. It legitly tastes like celery.